Back with my first build guide. So, it's supporting fire again. Okay. So I'll go over the ascendancy first. The only thing that's absolutely necessary in the ascendancy is unleash hell, so you can get supporting fire. That's it. This is not necessary, nor is this. You could get whatever you want with these extra nodes. You could just not allocate them at all, and the build would play entirely fine. Alright, so now I'll go over the rest of the tree. For the tree, we just come around here and loop up. And when you're leveling, you want to absolutely uh, you want to prioritize getting these nodes right here. These nodes right here. This node, this node. Well, okay, this one is only when you're going to start using muster. You want to get these damage nodes. You definitely want to get this node right here. Lord of Horrors, Enduring Archon, Archon of Undeath, or Archon of Undeath, including including this one right here. 3 Grand Spectrum Rubies, Bringer of Order. You only want to get this in the end game when you're finally stacking minions to boost supporting fire's damage of muster. You want to get Gigantic Following as soon as possible as well. You want to get Entropic Incarnation. Splintering Force is very helpful because it allows you to break armor without a support. And I have this last jewel socket, which I'm not using right now. But you could put anything in there. You could put a Voices and then allocate like a whole bunch of minion related jewels. That's about it for the tree. Now I'm gonna go over the gear. For the gear, you want as many plus the skills as possible. So you want 2 on the helmet, 4 to 5 on the scepter, 2 on the trench timber. But if you want, you can also drop trench timber and use a Chobra Chabber. This right here. Now, Chobra Chabber is very nice. Very nice little addition to the game. Actually, I think it's been in the game for a while. I think it just got upgraded in this patch. It got buffed, I believe. But we don't use it because we don't have enough intelligence at the moment to make use of it. Other than that, you want as much strength and life as possible on your gear, and you want to cap your resistances. And then you want to use a Defiance of Destiny with Dominion. Very important. You want Dominion on the amulet. For the body armor, you want Vis Mortis, so we don't have to use Kurgle's Leash. You just automatically get Unholy Might for minions. Rite of Passage, if you want. It's not needed at all. Another thing that's not needed and actually would not help the build is Mage Blood. Instead, what you want for your belt is you want minions deal 60% increased damage with command skills, and then you want as much life and strength as possible on your belt. The rings do not have strength. That's something I need to fix. They should have strength and life. Okay, now I'll go over the supports and just the skills in general that you're going to want to use. So damage per second, 147,000. We use bidding 2, concentrated area, minion mastery, muster, and lightning attunement, so we can get shocks. For the minions, you want skeletals. You want every minion in the game. You want one of each. I forgot to mention for the scepter, you want to get one with skeletal warrior minions. And you want to get a scepter that also has surpassing chance to gain a puppet master stack whenever you use a command skill. You also want your scepter to have increased spirit so that you can actually allocate all the minions. Other than that, the minions you want are skeletal warrior, of course, on the scepter. You want a skeletal sniper minion for the second skeletal cleric minion. For skeletal cleric minion, you want to put Brutus's brain as rapid casting 2, and then you just want to get all the minions. So skeletal arsonist, skeletal storm mage, skeletal reaver, and skeletal frost mage. So we have every minion in the game. Well, we have every minion that's like not a companion, you know. And that's about it. Now, unfortunately, this is a life stacker, so we don't have too much survivability, but the Defiance of Destiny should make up for that. As long as you're able to get around 3,000 life with the Defiance of Destiny, you should be fine. You shouldn't have to worry about taking too much damage. You should be able to kill most rares in one volley. The only time you might struggle with rares is when you're doing expedition. Then they might take a little extra to kill. Bosses will obviously take way more than one volley. They're not going to die in an instant. With Defiance of Destiny, you should be able to tank most things. You might still need to worry about one-shots, but other than that, you're going to be fine, I think, uh, for the most part. I haven't really had to worry about defenses too much with Defiance of Destiny. As long as you have, like I said, as long as you have 3,000 life or more, you should be fine. You get healed by a lot of hits more often than not. Yeah, so this is where you would want to like not try and face tank everything. Every volley is 147,000 damage, and that doesn't count the Puppet Master stats or potentially getting. We almost died there, or potentially getting Archon of Undeath. These fuckers are actually doing a lot of damage to me. Holy shit. They're not one-shotting me, but they're almost one-shotting me. Jesus, man, what the fuck? Gotta be careful, man. I feel like you'd have a problem with those enemies, regardless of the build you're doing, though. Well, not entirely true. That's actually just false. I don't know why I said that. There's a lot of builds where you can become practically immortal in this game, so that's not true at all. But this build is definitely I definitely went more for damage than I did survivability, that's for sure. Otherwise, I probably would have tried to get a little bit of energy shield. Instead of armor. But the damage is pretty good. I've helped people with bosses with this build. So the damage is definitely there. I'm level 93, so I haven't really died that much with it. You gotta get that gold. I was using the Mage Blood with this build for a little while, and then I realized I could get a minion belt. I don't know why it took me so long to realize, because I've used minion belts in the past on this game. Oh, this guy is just not taking damage. What the fuck? There we go. I thought he had the temporal or stuff where you had to be near him, but no, he just wasn't. He just wasn't taking damage for some reason. What is that? Dog shit, but I'll pick it up anyways. Order of chance. Oops. There we go. Just get rid of that. Sometimes you do have to wait for Archon of Undeath. It's kind of annoying, but you'll get it eventually. And then when you do, the boss just dies. Unfortunately, we had to get him like halfway before we got Archon of Undeath. That's the build, though. So, yeah, that's that. I need to get better rings. I know there's minion rings, but I think those are like really expensive. I really don't know, if I'm being completely honest. They're breach rings, I'm pretty sure. So that was a tier 15 with 0 revives. I would show you like a pinnacle boss or something, but the closest one is one map away, actually. And I don't really care enough, so that's the end of the video. So yeah, I recommend this build if you want to try out supporting fire. It's a good time, I think.